Okay, so I think we're actually recording, which I can't believe I could even do. Pretty amazed with myself. How much smarter I'm getting. Before, like, I didn't even have Facebook or anything. So we'll just start off maybe by introducing everybody. If everybody could just share, a little bit about themselves if you want, what level you're at, and then we'll get started. So everybody gets to know. Just so everybody kind of gets to know each other, because that's kind of what it's about. So thank you for coming. So Ray, if you want to start.
Sure. I'm Ray Hessel. I'm district manager, and I love the business. I love the products, and I'm working my way up.
My name is Kelsey. I am a stay-at-home mom currently.
Awesome.
Don't plan on going back to work, so I thought I would come and check out the Arbonne. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I am Ashley, and I have a 1-year-old daughter, and I just went back to work, and I don't like it. So I'm here, yeah. Well, I'm unfortunate. I'm just working part-time, but it still sucks. I want to be more with my baby. So
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you come. I'm Stacy. I'm a first step independent consultant towards district manager last month. I just started, and I'm a stay-at-home mom as well. My kids are 6 and 2, and I'm trying to figure out what to do when my kids are both in school, and I don't want to get a regular job. I want to be a mom still, so this is working out really well so far, and hopefully we keep going with it.
I am Amanda, and I have been in Arbonne for a year, but I'm just starting to build my team now, which is awesome. And I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Don't have any kids yet, but it'll happen. We're working on it.
exactly.
My name is Kristen. I also have been doing Arbonne for almost a year now, 10 months. And I'm just sort of taking the second stab at this to sort of get it going for me this time around. I am from Calgary, but I've lived in BC for the last couple of years, so I moved back here and just sort of started my whole life fresh last year. So it's a big time.
My name is Allie. I just started this month. I'm actually a respiratory therapy student, so my goal for this is just kind of build myself the best future that I can.
Hello, ladies.
How are you?
Sorry, we're going to have to turn.
My family's in the restaurant business, so I have a 3-year-old son, and I work at the family business, and just want to see how this is going to work.
Right.
And if I can do it, because I'm shy too.
Yeah.
My name is Caitlin McCauley, and I moved to Alberta 7 months ago from BC, so you are probably the most people that I actually know right here in this room. Don't know any of you. And yes, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I currently work full-time. And I'm just running myself ragged because my partner, he's a pilot for WestJet, so he's gone most of the time as well. So looking for a new opportunity to kind of change my lifestyle from what I'm doing right now.
My name's Jackie Meyer. I just started this month. I have a almost 13-year-old son. And I've tried the products, some of them, and I really loved them, and so that's why I'm here.
My name's Shawnee Easton, and I started back in July, but didn't really start doing it until about October. Just been trying to build my business as well, and that's kind of what hooked me more or less was the products. I love helping people out, especially like I find the acne line has just been like unbelievable, helping especially women, because the first thing you see is our face, right? So that's been like the big thing is helping people. I love it.
You came just in time.
And we are recording, just so everybody knows we're recording, just so if he's right there we're recording. So if you have something you want to say, you are on camera, just so you know. And Amanda's right here, if anybody wants to see her.
Hi, Amanda.
Sitting beside me. So
She's showing up.
oh, she's showing her baby now. We're just doing introductions.
Okay.
Just so everybody gets to it.
Oh, me. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I'm Lacey. I'm from between Brooks and Hannah, and I'm a new regional vice president with Arbonne. And my sponsor is Amanda Crow, who's on there, beside Jacqueline. And
Lacey just got her car.
Yeah. yesterday we had my presentation, card presentation. So yeah, promoted January 1st, I guess. So that's me.
My name is Sandy. I work full-time in healthcare, and I've been married for about 6 months now. My husband works up north in oil and gas, and we don't have a family yet, but I think about all the mothers I work with trying to come back to work full-time with their kids, and I just think it looks very unattractive, so that's why I started doing Arbonne, because I love the product, and it just looks like a really good way to be with my family more and make my own money and be my own boss.
Well, thank you. That's really good. Did everybody, did you go? No? Okay. We'll let you go, Crystal.
I'm Crystal. I just started last month. I launched my business in February, and I know Jacqueline through Kathy, who got me into the business. I've been using the product since a year ago, and I love it. I kind of love everything Arbonne, and that's why I never thought I would do the business, but I love everything, including the philosophy, just how they inspire people and change lives. So I am a self-professed eco-nerd. I like anything healthy and helpful, and I'm that way too. I'm not a business person, I'm not a salesperson. I love to love on people and inspire them to make healthy changes too. So, and my little man, he's almost 8, and he was my inspiration, my why for wanting to be successful in business as well. So I'm just learning and just beginning, but I'm excited to be here and learn more.
Okay, I'm Casey, and I started my business last month too. And I run 3 Jazzercise franchise locations, and then I also am a freelance makeup artist. So where this kind of came in is I'm constantly doing makeup lessons with ladies, and then they will go straight to Shoppers Drug Mart and buy all the products that I just used on them. So I was kind of thinking that it's silly of me not to have an offering. Like if I use a mascara on them and they love it, well then you can purchase it from me, and then I can make a little bit more money. And yeah, as much as I love the Jazzercise program too, it's not very profitable. So again, I'm kind of here. I just work so hard, and I feel like I don't have very much to show for it at the end of the day. So I just learning a little bit about it too, and seeing all these success stories. So yeah, that's my story.
Okay, glad to hear that. Okay, so if you have anything else you want to say while I'm sharing the getting started, like let me see if you have anything that I've missed. Just jump in. Amanda, if you have anything that I've missed, what were you looking at there? You're looking down your shirt. Anyways.
I feed my baby bee.
Oh, okay. You do that. But if you have anything that I've missed, just feel free to jump in.
Oh, I'm down your shirt.
I was like,
In fact, I am looking at my shirt. I am.
okay, well, it's good. It's good you have a shirt on. So we're going to start off just by going through the checklist, and what I handed out is exactly what you would give a new business builder, and not just new. I've had to do this, I don't even know, countless times in my business where I've relaunched and restarted my business because I felt like, you know, life happens. It really does, where you get caught up in other things and maybe things aren't going quite the way you want. So then I've had to relaunch myself and go back to the basics and restart all over again and do exactly this. And I've done this lots throughout. Actually, it wasn't even that long ago I redid it again. So you're going to kind of go back to this lots in your business, and it's just getting started. It's basically what it is. This is really simple because this, if you follow this, you're going to be successful. And the one thing that I know about this is if you're coachable, and that's one thing that you really have to ask yourself is if you are coachable and you're following our system for success, because anybody who has, like, you know, Lacey and Amanda, anybody who's went on to do it very, very quickly, they did exactly this. And that's all they did. They didn't go outside and try and figure out how to do something that was smarter or better or make up anything new or make up new flyers, and they weren't doing any of that. They just followed the system, and they became successfal very quickly by following this. So that's just what we're going to actually go through. And if you have any questions, you can ask them. If you have anything else you want to share, but I do know 110% that this works. So what you would do is, and has everybody seen this before? Or is this new to everybody? This is new. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to check it off once you've done it. So you're going to fill out your action plan. And everybody probably knows when you first start, you know, your monthly average, your goal every single month, not even just when you start, is $2,500. That's your building block every month to be doing QB. That means that you're in business. You're every single month doing that $2,500 new and you, right? And that's you and anybody else new. So we're going to do that. So just flip to the plan. It's called Define Your Why. This is the Canadian Action Plan right here. And if you haven't seen it, this is exactly what it is. And you have to be able to define your why, because your why is going to be
is going to push you through any situations you have where maybe you're like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I want to do this. This is kind of your desire right here, right? This is why you're doing the business. So you're going to write out exactly what your dream is. Oh, hi, Alyssa. Come on in. Oh, is it? I can get mine too.
No, it's okay. I'll listen. I have to say.
So you're basically just going to write out your why. And this is what, like I said before, is going to push you through any roadblocks that you have, because you're always going to go back to your why of actually why you're doing this. And we're all going to have obstacles. We're all going to have stuff that's going to happen in our business. We're all going to have struggles. I've had so many struggles, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, we could go on and on and on about all the no's we've gotten, the rejection, the whatever else. But this is the reason why you're doing this business, and it has to be stronger than anything else. Your why has to be stronger than all the no's, all the rejection, anything else that's going on. So this is what you're going to write out. You're going to write out what your dream is. If time and money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? So hopefully you have all written out your whys. Your why has to be able to make you cry. If you're not vulnerable enough to share, maybe your financial situation or anything else like that, you're not being honest with other people. For me, it was really easy. I was broker than broke. And I had to be honest with people. I got out of a very controlling relationship on and on and on, and be honest with people about your why. Because if it doesn't make you cry, other people aren't going to understand, why you're actually doing the business as well, right? Has everybody written out their whys? They have? Oh, okay, you have it? Okay, so this is something that you're going to be able to obviously do. And write this out. And the great thing about this too is, and it even says on here, is share it with your upline, because this is what you're going to share when you do your skincare presentation or your party. You're going to share your why. And like I said, it has to be relatable to other people. It has to make people be like, oh my gosh, like that's kind of like me. Like, talk about your finances, talk about your family, talk about whatever it is that you're doing this. And usually it's your third reason why. People always say, well, I want to pay off debt, or, and they have another reason. It's usually the third reason, when you really dig deep. For me, it's a lot of family reasons why. As you get older, your parents get older. I want to be able to look after my mom, things like that. And you have to be honest with why you're doing this business. And then, so once you've done that, you're basically going to go through your list of your 100 people. And you don't have to have 100 people. Now, I want you to really, really go through this list, and don't put 2 people on here or 1 person on here, and then contact them and be rejected and want to quit out of them, because I've had that happen with people. You have to be honest with who you know. I want you to go through your Facebook, I want you to go through your phone contacts, and I can guarantee you have over 100 people, because who on Facebook doesn't have more than 100 people? Most people do, right? You don't?
I had 14 when I started. I'm not even joking.
You must not
and they were all
accept
family.
anybody.
No, it was just family. I didn't know how to use Facebook. I didn't know anything.
Okay.
So 2 months ago, I had 14 people, and now I probably have like 80. But yeah,
I'm
it's
with you.
Okay.
I'm not attacky at all. It scared me, but yeah, it's amazing how fast it grows, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. Well, you've got family, you've got friends, you've got people you've done services with, you've got people that that are maybe a little more social. If you think about other people maybe who they know, circles of friends, you have a child. Children are easy little munchkins.
Yeah, when
They're easy. And then you've got other sports, activities. You have to really, really think about it. And me, when I made my list, I thought of people that I've helped out before. And I thought, I've helped you before. Why wouldn't you with me, right? I thought of people who look after themselves. So while I'm saying these things, write some names down. And there's memory joggers right on here. It even says, think about all these people. I mean, I don't know a police officer, but I hope I don't. With all the tickets I've had, maybe I do. But go through all of this and jog your memory and start thinking of some people and jot them down, like people you've done services with, people you've done favors for, family, friends, people who are very social. Think of that. Who's social? Who likes to have get-togethers? Some people like to host. I'm not one of them. I struggled with that area because of being really shy. I didn't really host, right? But think of people who do. You've got friends that that are really, really social, that like to, be in a social setting and have people over. And think of any other activities or groups, or maybe you need to join some. If you don't know any, I joined 4 new groups. Okay, maybe we won't talk about my 4 new groups, because one was boot camp and I had a nap because I grew up with it at a nap. Didn't go very well, but anyways, and nobody wanted to go for beer after, which is another funny story because I thought for sure that's what they did, but they don't. They probably have tea or something. Or a protein shake. That's what I was actually told. They're like, you know, they probably got a protein shake. I'm like, oh, why did I say that? I said, who wants to go for beer? I joined another networking group. It's at the library, which I don't even know how the library works, but you know, let's give that one a go. Mom's night out. I joined that one too. You know, if you have to get a little more social, you do. And it's out of my comfort zone, let me tell you. I'm not somebody, like, look at boot camp, how that looks. Like, I'm sure you guys could do better than that. If you have children, that's an easy way of, you know, getting to know people. If you don't, well, then borrow somebody else's kids or somebody else's family or whatever, or you got neighbors. You know, we all go at our houses. People, and maybe it's even your cold market. Maybe you put a draw box in a salon. Maybe you did a trade show. Maybe whatever it is. But you have names and you see people and everybody's got skin. Make conversation. I'm really good at making conversation. Now I am. I wasn't before. Hey, what do you do? You know, like it's really easy. Say hello, smile. It's not that hard. Start conversation. Get to know people. And it's just being aware of your surroundings and really being interested in people. That's the number one thing that I had to start doing is being interested in people. Because if you don't know about your surroundings and you're not talking and looking at people, they're not going to come to you and say, hey, what do you do? They're just not. But if you are interested in them, they're going to eventually ask you what you do, right? And if you're able to help them and find that need, that's where you're able to share the business with them as well, right? You're going to figure out where does this fit for them. Maybe they just want a healthier alternative. Maybe they just want a sample to try, you know, but you've got to make conversation for that to happen. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Amanda, do you have anything else you want to add? Oh, that's good.
Do you have more of those sheets? No.
Oh my gosh, what happened? They can have some of them for people that maybe that already have this, but I can copy more off as soon as I'm just taping it, so that I can copy more off. Maybe sit with somebody who's got one, so you guys know what's going on. You can sit kind of by somebody.
I'm good. I have this.
Okay.
Come on in, you guys.
Or
Like,
everybody
find the couch and.
Somebody can sit by me if they want to too. Holy crap, we have like, there's only gonna be like 5 people the last one. Can you hit the little screen thing? Thanks. Thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, sit by somebody who's got one just so you can see and we can print it off after. I think the RSVP is the last one. We had like 5 people coming, so incredible turnout. Like, wow, amazing.
It's all backed up on the road. All the parking.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't think you lived that far. I'm like, I turned down the wrong road.
Oh,
So I
really?
pulled over and then I went back and then I was like, never mind my way here.
Oh, no, I live a little ways down. So once you've gone through that and you've determined your 100, it doesn't have to be 100 people again, it can be however many you have. And you have that no list. If you don't have a list, you have no business. If you have not sat down and made a list, you do not have a business because what are you going to do with it? My list, I did exactly this when I started. I made a list of people I knew, and I'm going to get into how you start contacting them. But that's basically, I needed a list of people. Who am I going to reach out to try the products, to host presentations, skincare presentations for me, and maybe that really need the business. But if I don't have a list, what am I looking at? I don't have any people that I'm going to bring into my business or I'm going to have try my products. And the thing is you want to be able to share this with people. You're not bothering anybody. And I'll make that really clear because do you not want your family or friends using something that's healthier for them that maybe isn't killing them? You don't want to kill them off. I mean, if you don't like them, maybe. But, you know, generally you want them to make healthier choices and same with other people, right? You don't want them using that lipstick that has lead in it or whatever it is, right? You want them to try something that's healthier. Plus this business could change their life. That's the biggest thing. I never feel bad when I offer this to somebody when they say they hate their job or they want to stay home with their kids. And then if they say no to me, I think that I gave you the solution. That's not my problem. You know, it doesn't bother me at all when I can offer somebody the solution and I know what it's done for people. So I guess I have all the confidence in the world. I know what it's done for Lacey. I know what it's done for Amanda. I know what their paychecks are. And I mean, they're making like gangster money. They're making drugs. Drug dealers are like cool. No, you know. Anyways, so that's kind of basically all you're going to do there. Is you're going to go through your action plan, and it goes into coaching. You want to stay connected, and like I said before, are you really coachable? Are you committed, and are you coachable? Because if you're not those three things, this business is really hard to do when you're going to try to do it on your own and figure it out. You need to follow the system for success. You need to be connected with somebody. And even coming to these sort of things, you're going to be connected to other people that you're going to relate to and you're going to be able to talk to, which is really, really important. Even our once a month meeting, that's all it is. Go somewhere, even if you don't live around here, but go somewhere where you're connected and you have, because it builds belief, right? If we don't have that belief, it's hard to do. And it builds belief in ourselves and it builds belief in what we're doing as well. And you want to have somebody that you know that can help you through all of this. We're not telling you what to do. We just know that this works, right? We're showing you. It's like if you start a new job. Do you go to the new job and go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it my own way. I don't want to file those papers. I'm just going to throw them in the garbage. Because that's basically what you're doing if you're going to do something else other than our system for success, right? You're going to follow exactly what worked for so many other people. And then you're going to see it works for you as well. So it's very, very similar.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you write down all your people, I'm really bad at this because I'm pretty quiet and all of my connections are Facebook. I maybe have like emails, but I don't have phone numbers, and it's way more indirect and impersonal when that's all you have. So that's part of my connection problem, is that I might have a lot of acquaintances and might have a lot of different ways to connect with them, but phone number is usually the last on the list of what I have.
I have the same thing. What I usually do is I just send, even if I do talk to them or stuff like course over Facebook, I'll shoot them a quick message and say, hey, do you mind sending me your phone number in case we want to chat sometime, or just make that connection there, and then jot it down, save it in your phone or whatever, and then or.
Lacey's done it a lot through
Yeah.
Facebook. She just did exactly that, right? You can.
I just would say, hey, I don't have your phone number, but can I just get it so I just have a couple questions I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I get your phone number,
Yeah.
and most people are like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
How do you do that with people that you really haven't, are kind of acquainted with, but don't really
Same
know
thing.
well? But
I just did the same thing.
Same thing. I did it with a girl I went to school with, and I mean, that was a long time. I don't even know if she remembered who I was. There was only 6 in my class, but whatever. I don't think she really even remembered who I was. But anyway, I did exactly that. I said, hey, can I get your phone number? I just would like to chat with you. I haven't talked to you in a while. And she's like, yeah, sure. And I just called her up and said, hey, what are you doing these days? And I just started a conversation, asking her about herself. Finally, then there came something in it that I could, relate to her with. I said, so, you have a son, really? Then we started talking about her son. I said, oh, do you like your job? She's like, no, I hate my job. I'm like, really? I said, well, maybe you should take a look at what I do, because I think you'd be great at it.
It's the genuine thing though, right?
Right? I asked her all the questions about herself first, and then when I found the need, then I could,
awesome.
and maybe it's just even gonna be something more about, even if they say no, maybe it's just them even trying your products. Maybe just calling them to try the products and saying, hey, you know what, I'm not sure what you're doing these days, but I have a really incredible product I'd love to share with you. Would you be interested in trying some samples and giving me some feedback? People love to give feedback. They love to give their opinion about things. They do. And that's generally all it is you're asking for their feedback. Get them samples, that's all it is. Even that one, the skincare, I don't know if you saw on Facebook where you ask people if they try the skincare for feedback and then people respond.
Yeah.
There were so many people who responded to that one, just trying the skincare sample and then giving their feedback. It's crazy, right? So you could even do something like that. If you don't know them that well, they're going to be the ones that are going to come to you. Good.
That really helped me develop clients, and somebody came into my business and hosted a party off of doing that.
So if you need more information about that, we can send that out. Can you open that thing behind the
She's on the iPad.
Yeah, she's on there. So that just kind of talks about.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Well, my background is Greek, right? And most of my family and friends are in Greece, overseas. So do you think with this business, would I be able to sell overseas?
Not unless we're in the country that you're selling in. So we're in the UK, Australia, Canada, United States, Poland, and we're opening in Taiwan. So
The only way you could do that, because there was someone, maybe not here, but that was I was just gonna say, I had a girl that she had a lady that wanted to order some, I think it was in China or
you
something.
can ship it there, but you can't really do business there because you can't have other people join from there, right? Until we open in that country. But you can sell product there if you want.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people here with skin that you can talk to. Right?
Community there.
I know lots of people was open, obviously, there, because I knew we were just going to start going globally, right? And obviously it'll explode for you, right? Which is awesome. So then the next sheet just goes over what our method is. And I don't really care how you do this business. You need to get in front of at least 40 faces a month. So I'll give you 3 methods and ways of doing this business. The way that I grew my business, because I live very rural, like I did when I started, I was in Richmond, Saskatchewan, nobody knows where that is. And there's 50 people there, very rural community, like pretty much almost an hour from civilization, very similar to Lacey. And so for me, I did it through group presentations. And the reason doing that, like skincare presentations, parties, whatever you want to call them, is because I want to reach out to as many people as I could at once, because I need to leverage my time. Because I had to drive a little bit, right? So that's how I built my business, is through doing it through group presentations. Then I also added some one-on-ones into there when I moved a little bit, like when I saw people or if I was around people more. And what that is you're going to give them a basket of product, or just the RE9, or even if you just mail out a sample, whatever you want to call it, you're doing it one-on-one basis. Now, when you're doing things one-on-one, you have that connection with the person. It's fabulous. If you're more comfortable with that, I've had people go to the top of this company by doing it one-on-one, by dropping off the gold bags with the RE9 in them and having that bag do the talking for them, then moving it throughout all their friends and not getting the bag back and doing it like that. I've had a couple ladies that were not into the party scene. They said, I'm not doing a party. That is not happening. And I said, that's okay, but you have to be able to get yourself in front of 40 people. You need to get that bag to at least 40 people. I don't care how you do it. And they did it through one-on-ones. And then the other way is through offering the business. So doing the business offer. You have another lady who went to the top of the company by sharing the business. She probably doesn't to this day know how to do a party. But she's very good at sharing the business and starting new people. Because when you start somebody new and say they're going to do the group presentation way, when they have 6 parties on the books, those 6 parties are like your 6 parties, right? So that's how she grew her business, was having people join her business, constantly leveraging her time through that. Now, the best way to do it is to do the combination of all 3. Because if you are going to do a one-on-one, that's like you need to have at least 2 to equal a party, because you're leveraging your time, right? Sales-wise, right? So if you say, okay, well, I can't fill in my calendar, I don't have, 6 presentations is usually what we go for, 6, 8, or 10 skincare presentations a month. So if you can't, say this month, you're like, oh, I can't get that in here. So you're going to need to find 2 one-on-ones to equal a party. So you can do that too. Like there's months where maybe parties aren't really, you seem that everybody's saying no and you can't get that. Well, then book one-on-ones to fill in your calendar instead of having parties. And then if you're like, okay, I'm really good at talking about the business or getting the feedback calls booked, I'm really good at getting the information calls booked, I find the need in everybody and they say yes to getting on the call. So maybe that's another way you're going to do it. Maybe that's where your strength is, but find where your strength is and really work with it. But the best is to try to incorporate all 3. If you're doing all 3 in your business, you're going to go that much quicker, right? If you're getting yourself in front of 40 faces a month, you're going to move that much quicker through the business. And I did grow my business though, mostly through group presentations and bringing business builders in. That was just how I did it, because the one-on-ones was tougher for me. But.
So could you, I'm moving back to Lethbridge and I'm just kind of trying to figure out ways to kind of build once I get there. And one of the ideas that I had was to host a kind of neighborhood party.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea to then take your tester kits, like little tester kits of the RE9, and drop them, because I don't know the neighbors that well, but I lived on the same block with them forever and ever. So if I sent out some of the tester RE9 kits and just be like, hey, this is an example of what I'm going to be showing at a party, this is what I'm selling, it would mean a lot to me if you came to my party, but I just want to give you this to see if...
It's a great way for you to get them to try the product, fall in love with it, want to purchase it. Best savings is for them to host and have a couple girlfriends over. Now you got a party instead, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
survey that she was talking about is essentially doing exactly that.
Yeah.
And they'll fill some
You're getting
out.
them to try the product one-on-one, and they might say, no, I'll just, because you do get the options of how to save, right?
So go give it to them and be like, hey, I'm going to come back here in a week and I'm going to ask you how
Yeah.
it was and pick it up.
And I want some feedback, yeah.
So when I go there, it's like, okay, how did you like it? Now are you willing, I'm going to have this party on this day, or would you like to get this and host a party for me?
Yeah, because they're best savings. You want to say, well, there's different ways to save if you are at all interested in purchasing. Your best way is obviously to have a couple of your girlfriends over. And if you want to try some more products, by all means, you can come to mine. You can come to mine that I'm going to have at my house. But your best savings is to have a couple of your girlfriends over and get it for free. Who doesn't want free stuff? That's what I always say. And that's how I got most of mine, was that way. Was them trying it, a sample or whatever it was, and then them saying, I love it. And then I say, your best savings is to have a couple of your girlfriends over, because then you can get it for free. That's basically how most people get going, right? And most people that host, they turn into business builders because they're like, well, this wasn't very hard. Like, my friends all bought, and now so-and-so wants to do the business, and so-and-so's a preferred client. Well, now I'm already in business, so I might as well do it. Because my whole entire business was built on my hostesses. It was not anybody I knew. It was all people who said that they would through sampling the products like that way. It was all strangers. My whole business was strangers. Friends and family are the most negative, and they're usually the most judgmental of what you're doing. And they usually say no first. So me, I had to go to my whole cold market. It was all people that I didn't know, who I met through other people, maybe acquaintances, people in my small town. I had a one-page list. I called them all on my one-page 50 list, and it was pretty easy. But a lot of them didn't know who I was, which was fine. I got them to sample some product. They loved it. They had a couple of their girlfriends over. Now I've got a business builder from there. Like, that's how quickly it moved, right? Was because and you're duplicating yourself. So if I start out and I do 6 presentations like I talked about, then I find somebody else through one of those skincare presentations I did that could use an extra $1,000 or want to quit their job or whatever. They say they're going to find 6 presentations. Now I've got 12 presentations on the book. You can see how that works when you duplicate yourself? And that's kind of what you want to be doing, because then you don't have to work as hard. And that's kind of how this whole thing works, is you want to be able to duplicate yourself. And this just kind of talks exactly, like, it tells you exactly what you can do. And kind of works out the numbers for you so you can actually see, you know, how to get to district manager really quick. If you start out, if you're just starting out and you start out with somebody in your business right away, so you find the need and you book that information call or feedback call, let me tell you, if you have somebody start with you right away, a lot easier to get district manager because you doubled your numbers, right? So if you do 6, they do 6, that's 12. So you're going to easily become a district manager by the end of the month. So that's what I suggest most people to do. And then obviously here it just talks about the group presentations and the one-on-ones, which I already went through because I have a big mouth. So I talked about that. And becoming a product of the product. This is really important. If you aren't using the products, why would any of your friends buy it? If they come up to you and they say, how's that mascara? Like you talked about, you know, you love Arbonne, and you're like, I don't know, I use Lancome. Well, why would they purchase the mascara from you? They're not going to. They want to know why you love it because they already trust you. And you buy from people you trust. Right? If you say you love it and you're super excited about it, like everything that I talk about and I love is what I sell. So if I'm not using the protein powder, I'm not going to sell it because I don't really even know if it's good, right? So I'm not going to talk about it, right? So it's really important to become a product of the product, and you can earn your products. Most people have. I mean, Lacey got $900 in free stuff for her first party. I was like, what are you going to get? You get the whole catalog? Like, you know, and that's just, I went there with my stuff. She didn't have any stuff and did her first presentation. She earned her stuff for free. So it's not that you have to come in with initial investment, but if you can, it's a good idea because you're going to want to be using those products so that you can tell people much you love them. And they're going to notice in you, right? They're like, oh wow, your skin's got a glow. Are you pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. I'm using R9. You know? Right? Well, maybe not that, but you know, you have that glow or whatever, right? Or, you know, your hair looks nice and messy because you were just riding in the wind, you know? You know, what is that you do? Do you have anything else you want to share? No? Do you?
No, I think that.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I just, you're not even listening. Okay. Okay, well, once you went over it, that is right there is your Canadian Action Plan. If you haven't seen that, this is exactly what I did when I started. And this is actually, honestly, all I had when I started was exactly what you just saw. That was it. I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. I have no idea what's going on. So you can check off that you've done that. Once you've completed it, you've done your why, you've written out your 100-person list. Now you wanna talk to your upline. Now you're gonna chat to your upline and say, I did my Canadian Action Plan, I filled out my why, I'm going to share it with you because I want you to see if it's vulnerable enough, if I'm honest enough, if it's relatable, is it any good or does it stink, right? So, and you want to share that with your upline, and you want to then have your list, because that's the important part, no list, no business, right? And you've already went over that. Now you're going to strategize with your upline, and you're going to tell your upline exactly what it is that you want, basically, right? And you're going to do the jumpstart, the 25 jumpstart. And the reason of the purpose of that list is because you're going to do the 25 jumpstart with your upline. Now, does everybody know what the 25 jumpstart is? No. Okay. The 25 jumpstart is, and this is why this is so important. With this list, now, if you went and you called everybody on your list and you fumbled and you didn't know what the heck you were talking about, and they said, no, I already got a membership, no, that stuff, I can't use anything, I have terrible skin, I break out from everything. You're gonna be scared and you're gonna say that's okay and you're gonna hang up, right? Because that's what happens. Either you're gonna do nothing because you're too scared, or you're gonna screw it up. And I've seen it, where people call me and say, oh my gosh, every single person said no. People hung up, people this, people that. But if you do the 25 Jumpstart, even do 1 or 2 with your upline, and this is gonna build confidence in you, and your upline's gonna be able to handle objections. So when they say, well, all my friends already do Arbonne, they're going to be able to jump in and say, well, no, all your friends don't do Arbonne. You know, they might have a discount card, which is okay, but we know how to handle objections. And we're going to build confidence in you. And the whole thing about this business is we're here to build your skills. When we all start, we don't have a clue what we're doing. We don't really have skills, but we need to develop our skills in how to do a skincare presentation, and how to bring business builders in, and how to create that really no matter what attitude and the mindset. That's what we're here for, is to help you to build your skills. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna strategize with them to kind of go over your goals and to determine when you're gonna do your 25 Jumpstart. Now I've had people who said to me, I'm not doing that, that's ridiculous. And what it is basically, you're gonna be on the phone or beside your upline. If you're in the same area, you can do it together at somebody's house. But if you're not, this is the fabulous thing I love about it, I can do it in my pajamas. I don't have to go anywhere, I don't have to drive to town. But if they want, we can do it together too. And we're gonna do a 3-way call. And we're gonna call your list. Well, you're gonna call that list because your friends will answer if you call. If I call, they won't. They'll be like, oh, who's this stranger with the 928 number? And you're gonna call them, and I'm gonna be on the phone, and you're gonna follow this script that is exactly in here. It's called the 25 Jumpstart script, and it tells you exactly what you're gonna say when your friend answers the phone. It's very, very simple. You reword what it says. And then this is what your upline's gonna say. And so let's say I'm doing it with Lacey. So Lacey is going to call up her friend and she's gonna say exactly this. She's gonna ask if it's okay if Jacqueline's on the phone because you started this new business, you're really excited, but you don't know what you're doing. So you need some help. And be honest, you don't know what you're doing. So let somebody who knows what they're doing do the talking for you, because you'll be successful a lot faster instead of fumbling through it and getting all these no's and having all this rejection and you being scared and pooping your pants, basically, right? So let's start off successful, right? Then your upline's going to, basically ask them if they would like to have a few of their girlfriends over. This would really help out Lacey. She started this new business. It would be a huge favor for her. You get to try some of these incredible products. Your guests get free facials. And once again, you'd be doing me a huge favor by helping me with my new business, because I really want to be able to stay home with my kids. Lacey really wants to be able to stay home with her kids. Well, most people, if they said no to that, I'd be like, well, you're kind of a bag because she's trying to stay home with her kids. No, I wouldn't do that. But, and if they do say no, they don't want to have friends over for whatever reason, maybe they have an objection like, well, my house is super messy and I don't have a lot of time. That's where I can say, it takes 1 hour of your time. We'll be quick with your guests. We'll give them a free facial. You don't have to clean your house. We don't care what your house looks like. But Lacey doesn't know that, right? But I do. So I'm able to tell her what happens. Like a lot of people say, well, I don't have 10 friends. Well, you don't need 10 friends. It's a couple friends. You've got a neighbor, a mom. We just need some practice. Can you see how this would work? Like I know how to handle objections, so let me do the talking so that you don't get all those no's. This is so crucial to your business. I had a girl who said to me, I'm not doing that, that's ridiculous. She's been doing it 6 months and fumbling, and she says, this isn't working, I'm getting all this rejection. I keep saying, are you ready to do this? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, so then she got a new business builder, and she says, I want to start her off right. I said, well, you ready? We're doing the 25 Jumpstart. We got her 8 parties right off the get-go, and she's like, I've never even had 8 parties. I'm like, because you didn't do this with me, right? And it's because I know what to say. I'm confident, and nobody says no to me. They don't. Nobody says no to me.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. Is my upline then the person who sponsored me?
Yeah.
So, no offense to Amanda, but she's so busy with her baby, so how do I connect?
She'll do it with you. Right, Amanda?
Yeah.
But even if Amanda can't, Jacqueline came.
Really big.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it with her, right? Are you doing it with her?
I'm gonna do it with everybody.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody who wants to do this, I cannot stress it enough that it's so crucial to your business to get your calendar full, right?
I have a friend whose house is it's not even a house, it's like a cupboard. Her place is, no, I'm serious. Her place is super small. She'd really like to be able to help me out.
Does she have it at your house or somebody else's?
Quite possibly. She also doesn't drive, so there's.
Does she got a neighbor or somewhere else that she can do? How does she get around?
She's a transit, but like, she'd like to be able to help me out. She's just. Like,
Well, she can have it at your house or somebody else's house and then just invite her friends, or just bring her friends to your house.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
And that's the big thing. And the thing about this is when you start your business, the most important things you want to do is you have to have a full calendar. And this is going to get you a full calendar. If you don't, I can't tell you if your goal is to make $1,000 a month that you're going to be doing that if you don't have a full calendar. And what I mean by full is 6, 8, or 10 group presentations. And like I said, if you want to fill one-on-ones, that's 2 to every one party, right? So that's what you need to have on there if you want to really be successful. Because I'd be lying to you if I said, yeah, you're going to do really great with your one party. No, like they'd give you a bike. Pedal bike, probably.
How many
But,
parties
you
a
know,
month? You're saying like 6 or 8 a month or a week?
a month. And I tell people that's 2 evenings I still to this day go out. 2 evenings for 2 hours at a time. Big deal. That's all I do. And really, how hard is it? I show up, I eat their food, I drink their booze, and I leave. Like, really? That's not a job. Like, come on, let's be honest with each other. This is not a job. But, you know, and who's going to pay you that for working 12 hours a week? Like, that's not even 12 hours, it's like 10. But who's going to pay you this kind of money for doing that little, right? And that's the honest truth. But you need to have a full calendar, and this is going to get you a full calendar. So, you know, even if they do say, no, I absolutely not having a party, then you move to the next one. And anybody can do this. Everybody can do this. You know, if you can read, you can do this. And then you're just going to say, well, maybe they want to come over to your house. For your hosting at your house. Maybe you just want to be a guest and see how this whole thing works, and then you can have a party later, right? They say no to that. Maybe they want to sample products in their own home, turn it into a one-on-one. Great. They say yes to that. You basically aren't going to get off the phone until they say yes to something, and they're going to. They're going to pretty much. You're just like, I'm not leaving until you say yes. No, I'm just kidding. But
Never really.
no, but that's all the honest here. But they generally will say yes to trying some product in their own home. People are not that cruel. If you said, you know, you started your new business and you're trying to stay home with your kids, like they're not really going to say no to. They're going to try the products at home, right? So you basically do that. So now your calendar's full, and that's why you have a calendar here. So you are going to determine.
You lost Amanda.
No, she's there. Oh no.
No, she hung up.
So you, maybe you can have this straight. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if it tapes, even if it's not on. I have no idea.
I think
I don't think so. Just need to change your settings.
Okay. Well, maybe she'll call me. Do I put that one?
So here you're going to determine, and this is the great thing about when we start this business, we determine which days are non-negotiable. What days are, oh, there she is. Okay, what days are we not going to do this? And that's the great thing. If you're like, well, you know what, I have my kids this and that, okay, but I do have to say, like, I think that we can commit to 2 evenings a week. If we can't, that's okay. Then it's just maybe going to take you a little bit longer. But also, if you leverage your time through starting new people, that's another great way too, right? Then you know you're 2, they're doing 2, that's 4 a week, right? That gives you how quickly this can move, right? And how much money you can be making. So on here, I just fill in my days. No, I can't that day on Monday. I've got this with Hudson or whatever. I can't do it that day. And then I fill in the days that I'm going to work. And this you're the person you're going to do those 25 jumpstart calls with, they need to know what your calendar is. Because I can't be on the phone, you know, trying to book your calendar for you, and I don't know what days you have available. So you've got to determine what days am I willing to work my business? How committed am I to this? You know, and how coachable am I? Am I going to do what this crazy lady's saying? And I would hope so. Jeez.
I'm just great.
Yeah.
So with the 25 Jumpstart, a lot of times I've had that too with people on my team that are like, no, I don't want to do that. I'll try making some calls myself and see how it goes. I'm like, you really need to do this. And I just want to stress how important the 25 Jumpstart is, because this business is all about duplicating, and the best copycat wins. So say you are new, just starting out, and you're like, no, I don't need to do the 25 Jumpstart, I'll do the calls myself, I'm fine. And say you make those calls and you get a few parties booked, and that's awesome, but you haven't learned how to do the 25 Jumpstart. So when you starting new people, you're not going to know how to teach them the 25 Jumpstart, and that cycle is going to continue, and eventually it's going to be done. And that is, it's true, because anyone that on my team that has not done the 25 Jumpstart with me has not continued with this business. And it's just so important, and it's about building confidence in people, right? Because when you get on the phone and you spend like 15 minutes with your upline and you book your calendar solid full with them, and you get 8 parties on the book for that month in like 15 minutes, you're like, holy wow. And then from those 8, you're going to meet people and you're going to get parties off of those parties, and then the momentum takes off from there. So you really only have to do that 25 Jumpstart once. One time. So like, I just wanted to stress like how important that is. Don't feel like you're like, oh, it's weird to have this stranger on the phone. It's fine. It's not like that at all, and it works, like, because I've seen it, right?
And why would you want to have somebody else do the talking for you that is totally 110% confident? Like, for me, people do not say no to me. They just don't, like, I won't take it, no, I'll just keep going. It doesn't bother me either. I don't care. I don't know who that person is, and it doesn't bother me when they say no. My feelings aren't hurt. I don't feel rejected. I don't care, because my feelings are not in it. Right? And the great thing about that is you learn what to say when somebody gives you. So when you do start doing the calls on your own, say, you're asking people to have parties for you and that sort of thing, you know how to handle rejections because you heard me. So now you know what to say when somebody says, oh no, I already have a membership. And I'm able to say, oh, what do you have? You preferred client? Or they say, oh, all my friends already use our bond. I'll be like, oh, that's okay. We honor their discount. They can still come to your skincare presentation, but you don't know to say that because you're brand new. But you just learned that from me because I handle the objection. Or when they say, I'm too busy. Oh, well, it's 1 hour time. It's your sister and your mom. That's all it has to be. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I can do it then. But you didn't know to say that, so you get off the phone and you're defeated. You're like, I'm quitting this business. Stinks. I'm never doing this again because everybody says no. Yeah, everybody says no because you don't know how to handle objections. If you had confidence, because they can hear it in your voice too. They know if you're feeling confident about this, if you know what you're talking about. And when somebody's doing it for you, why would you want somebody to do it for you? I'm thinking, well, like, I'd rather have somebody talk for me any day, right? I love when people talk for me.
So do you give them like a heads up that you're going to be calling them with your Arbonne manager, or
No. You call them and you follow the script. It says right on there. It says, I hope you're okay, but I have Sally Sue on the line with me. I just started this business. I have no idea what I'm doing. She's my mentor and she's going to help me, thank goodness, but I'm really excited about this. So it's okay she's on the line. We always ask, is it okay that she's on the phone? And nobody's ever said no. No, it's not okay that you have a mentor. Like, I hope you can start.
It's just weird because it's like an unscheduled conference call. You know what I mean?
Well, kind of, but you know what people have said to me when I've asked them, how did you feel about me being on the call? Or like, I've gotten them to ask, the person. I said, well, maybe ask your friend like what it was like. And they thought, you know what? I thought that was really great that you were learning how to do this business through somebody else. And it actually looked really attractive to them because they were like, wow, like you're learning. Like I'm not alone in this. All other network marketing businesses, I've done a lot of them, let me tell you, and I did not do well. And it was because they signed me up and said, good luck, I hope you do well. Well, I'm not going to do well because I don't even know how to speak, and I don't even know what I'm talking about, and I got all these rejections, so I just quit. But whereas with this, I think it looks good, because you've got somebody who wants you to be successful, and you're learning from them to build their skills. Maybe they'd go, hey, that's kind of neat how she's building her skills, or like she's learning through somebody else and she has a mentor, like somebody who's already been successful, right? And
it might seem weird to make that call, but it is way more personal if you call someone up and ask them than if you send them a text. Like, don't text your Facebook, because if someone sends me a text or Facebook, I'm like, oh, I wonder how many other people they sent this message
that
to.
Was a copy and paste,
but, that was a copy and paste. But if someone were to call me up and be like, hey, you know what, and do the 25 Jumpstart, and I say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've got my upline and mentor on the phone with me. Say Jacqueline, was doing those calls with me. She'd be like, you know what, Lacey started this new business. She's doing this so that she can be able to quit her really unfulfilling job. She's really not happy there, and whatever that might be, or stay home with her kids. Like, she's going to do that talking and share why you're doing this. So when people hear that and hear why you're doing it too, that, like, it's not like you're putting them out for asking them, right?
And I'll tell you too, people don't like saying no to a stranger. How weird is that? Like, why do you not want to say no to me? Because like, oh my God, she might think I'm a total bag. I better say, like, they almost care with the third party. Like, they almost are like, well, I better look like I'm a good person because she said, she needs help. And then if you say no, well, this lady might snap at me, I don't even know her. She might be like, well, you're a bag, and hang up. Like, and I thought of that, saying you're a bag, but, I haven't said that. But it's true. They almost feel like, well, they're almost put a show on. Like, oh yeah, of course they will. I have all my friends over. Okay, but it's the truth. It's actually kind of silly how people act. They act like they're like the world's nicest people, and maybe they are, but it's kind of funny. Like, they are, like, they almost put on their best face. They put their best face forward, right? When there's a person on there and you're sharing,
And that's something you have to get over too, because I was uncomfortable making those calls and doing the 25 Jumpstart with my upline, because I was like, oh, I'm putting these people out and it's so weird to be calling them and I feel awkward doing this and it's weird. you're not asking them for $1 million. You're asking them to get a couple friends together so you can come over and pamper them for free and bring the spa to them.
And they can get free
And share a
products, so that's
healthier and
wonderful.
safer product and get free product. So
Yeah.
you just have to remind yourself that you're not putting people out by asking them to help you, right?
So that's the 25 Jumpstart. Does that make total sense to everybody? Okay. And total sense why we do it. So now you've got a full calendar, which is the complete and total point of this, obviously. That's just the list right there. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to write down your goals. And when you write down your goals, you're going to want to share them with your upline. So I always ask people, how much money do you want to be making and by when? I need to know what you need, and I need to know by when. So if I assume that somebody wants to be a national vice president making $30,000 a month and they started out for $500, I just made a total arse of myself, right? I need to know what it is you want. Maybe somebody just wants $1,000. Well, I need to show you how to get that. That's my job. My job is to show you how to get $1,000 a month. And how I'm going to do that is obviously through having a full calendar, right? And that's basically what it's going to be, right? So you want to be clear with your upline about what you want and when you want it by, and you want to write down your goals. 70% of everything that happens 70% comes true when you write it down. If you don't write it down, it's probably not going to come true. I'm not even kidding. You have to write your goals down. So if you don't know what your goal should be, that's what your upline's for. So when you say to me, I want to be making $1,000 and I need that by next month, because that's what Amanda said to me. She's like, okay, well, $1,000 make a huge difference. I need to be making $1,000. I'm like, okay, well, you need to be a district manager. Let's start small, right? You need to be, that would make the world of difference to you. Okay, so let's become a district manager in 1 month. Why not? Let's get you going. I know how to do that. I can show you. So we write down 6,000, I say write down 6,000 QV, because that's district manager in 1 month. I help her, right? Because when the people start, they don't know what their goal should be, but you need to know what their goal needs to be, like how to reach their goal, right? Like, so you need to know, how do you make, when you're making $1,000, what do you need to be? Well, you need to be a district manager. If you're not a district manager, you're not going to be making any money. Let's just put that out there. You won't be. It's a hobby then. You're going to be making like a little bit of money here and there. That's going to be great. You know, maybe some people just want to do that. They'll be making a couple $100 here and there. But once you're a district manager, you get a double pay raise to 8%, right? That makes a huge difference. I know myself as a district manager, I was making a couple $1,000s, so that's pretty good. But, you know, I had a full calendar, right? And I was following the system for success. So you fill your calendar. We were talking about that with the 25 Jumpstart with your upline. So you've already done that. We already talked about that. We won't get too much into that. But like I said before, 6 parties to be good, 8 to be great, and 10 to win. So you got to think too, you got cancellations, right? So you want to make sure your calendar is super full, because having a full calendar is way less stressful than having nothing on your calendar. So when it's really full, like I've had where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle this. All of a sudden things are starting to cancel. I'm like, well, this just got really easy. Because let's just be honest. Things are going to happen to people. Life's going to happen. They're going to get sick. And you're going to have some cancellations. So I say overbook. Like if you're doing this with your upline, book your calendar so full, you know. So you want to write down your party names, your dates. This is easy to log. So however many you have. I say start with the launch date. And what I mean by that, if anybody doesn't know what that is you want to, when you first start, or you can even do it even now if you're relaunching, have it at your house just so you get the free product. So you want to host, so have your people over. It works really well with the 25 Jumpstart because you're inviting people over to your house. If they say no to hosting themselves, then you invite them over to your place. So it's really easy to get to sample the products that way as well. So you're going to write them all down on here. So we're moving along, we're checking these off, right? You've ordered your business kit, we kind of already went over that. If you're planning on earning your own products, I say to people, if you're gonna earn your own products and not purchase any, then your calendar needs to be full. Because if it's not, you're not gonna earn anything. Like you can do through the Strong Start program, if you don't know what that is, that's you can earn your products up to $840 in free product. That's a lot of product. And I mean, that's not for a big kit, and a lot of times you can use your upline's product, obviously, but it's good if you can get your own stuff and earn your own product as quickly as possible. So have a few at your house so you can get free product, right? So that's why it's important to have that launch and to have that full calendar, because you're going to have money as well. You have a full calendar because you're making money, right? So pick your 4 people. We're on step 6. Pick your 4 people you would like to work with. And what I mean by this is I want you to go through your list you just made of all these lovely people. And I did this. I would write beside them who I want to host, so I put an H, who I want to try the products, I put a P, who I want in my business. And why do I want them in my business? I'm picky. Now, I don't just pick, Joe Blow off the street that's washing your your windshield. That's not what I want. I want people of quality. I don't want quantity, I want quality. It doesn't take that many people to build an empire. Like, if you had 4 people even within this business that started with you, you could go to the top. I'm not even kidding. So it's 4 people of good quality. And what I mean by that is I want people who are charismatic, who are influential, people that people like. I want people who are kind. If you're not kind, you're not on my list. And I'm not kidding. I wasn't on anybody's list, so I shouldn't say. But darn it anyways. I don't know why I wasn't on anybody's list, but I wasn't. I was one of those weirdos that just called somebody up and said, I want to do this. But anyways, if you're waiting for that, that's usually no. So what you're going to do is you're going to write them down. And if you don't know anybody, you're like, oh, I can't think of anybody. And what you're looking for is you're thinking, who deserves this? Not just anybody, but who deserves this? Like, who do you know that could use more time and who could use more money, who's very kind, who's always giving, who's very generous, and you just think, if they could just catch a break. You know, like if they could just stay home with their kids, they hate their job, they talk about that all the time, and you kind of know deep down that they really need more time and they really need more money, and you look at them and think, oh my gosh, that person's all over the place and I feel so bad. This is the people you're going to put on here. And like I said, I'm picky. I want people who I know that I kind of admire and look up to and think, you know, they work hard. The hard workers, that's another one too. You watch them, they call them really hard workers. Like they're really successful at what they're already doing and they're hard workers, but they need more money. Who doesn't need more money though? Who wouldn't want another stream of income? Not very many people ever say to me, no, I'm good. I'm good. I got lots of time, I got lots of money. Because usually they have one and they don't have the other. So that's the thing too, when you're writing your list. I mean, it doesn't have to be just 4. You've got more, that's even better. But I just want you to have a general, 4. And you know what? You don't really you're going to find people at your skincare presentations that you're going to make conversation with when you're doing the sea salt scrub and you're saying, so, do you work outside the home? Yes, I do. Oh, tell me what, do you like it? And they're like, oh, I love it. Oh, what do you like about it? They tell you. Oh, what don't you like about it? Oh, I hate the long hours. Well, have you ever gone to doing something like this? Do you got 20 minutes of time for a quick call so you can learn more about this? And you know what? This could be your way of getting that time back. How hard is that? Now I got a call book. Yay! I got somebody to put on my sheet. That's basically what you're doing, right? And that's all it is. I made conversation and I found the need and then I'm going to book the call. And once again, I learned all of this at MJ Durkins. He's one of the top network marketers and he's very, very knowledgeable. And he said, he's the one that taught me the 25 Jumpstart, that taught me about the information calls. Let somebody successful do the talking for you until you build your skills and you become successful. Because when you build your skills and that confidence, you're going to be able to talk to anybody. But because you've heard it so much, you now just speak it. Like I remember Lacey listening to her stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like she's speaking. It's like I have another of me. Like when she would talk to other people, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she just said that. That's what I say in my calls. But she had heard them so many times that she could have done the call in her sleep because she booked so many calls with me. Same with Amanda. Amanda booked so many calls with me, I didn't even know if I was coming or going. I mean, I was just like, holy. She got another call booked. But she found the need in people, booked the call with me, let me do the talking because I've been there, done that, I'm successful, I can answer questions. Now, she would have done the call when she started. What would have she said? Well, I just started this business, and I don't really know what I'm doing, and I hope that I can stay home with my kids one day, but I don't know if that's going to happen, right? That doesn't sound very appealing to anybody, but when you can find the need, you can put it in your story, and somebody successful can share it with them. They're probably going to take a look at the business. Now you have a business builder. Because really in this business, there's only 3 things we do. That's all. You only have to build 3 skills. Like where else do you only have to build 3 skills? You have to have a full calendar. So get your calendar booked with the 25 Jumpstart. Let somebody else do the talking for you. You need to find business builders to leverage your time and make a lot of money. Basically, the more you share this, the more calls you get booked with your upline, the more business calls, information calls, feedback calls, whatever you want to call them, that you get booked and you leverage your time, the more money you're going to make. That's basically how it's going to work. And the more you're going to stay at home. Like, leverage your time, right? And build that residual income. So that's all you have to do is you have to find the needed people. If they have no need, they're probably not going to listen to the call unless they're doing a favor for you for feedback. If it's your mom and she's not overly supportive, maybe get her on the call. Because you know what? She needs to be supportive. So I remember you did it with your mother-in-law, and she was not supportive. And it was very awkward for me because I knew she wasn't going to do the business. I was like, oh, why are we doing this call? It was so awkward. But you know what? She booked a party for her because she understood why she was doing this. She's like, oh, I get it now. Like, you're actually going to make some money. It's like, oh, this is good, right? But so if somebody's not supportive, get them on a information business call and say, you know what, you maybe don't know why I'm doing this, but I would love some feedback. Do you got 20 minutes of time? And what it does for you is you get the training that you need so you can talk about the business. Because right now, talking about the business, you're probably scared to, you don't really know what to say, but let somebody else who's talking for you till you learn what to say. And that's where this is really important, is to, I can't stress enough how quickly these girls built their business, because they had me on the phone, sometimes doing 6 to 8 to 10 information feedback calls a night. Not even kidding. I was like, okay, I can't remember what I said. Did I say that already? I was just like, I was starting to get a little mixed up. But and I booked them back to back, maybe a little too close. But you know, their business is built so quickly. And I have to say, like, I know Amanda can say too, that's how Amanda got there in 4 months, is these calls. Because she was like, I got another one, I got another one, I got another one. Because most people have a need. They do. Most people aren't sitting at home thinking, you know, I have all the money and the time, this is great. They aren't. They're sitting at home wondering how they're going to pay their bills, and they're wishing they had more time. And you have the answer. And all you have to do is book the call. That's it. Right, Amanda? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's growth, definitely. I didn't know how to talk about the business, so I just let you do all the talking. I just found the need. And you did the talking.
Yeah, but that part she got really, really, really quickly. She was like, I got it. I just gotta find a need. So I just gotta ask questions till I find the need, and then get you on the phone. And I was like, you're right. That's exactly what you gotta do. And she just did it time and again, time and again, time and again.
Tiny spider.
Oh my God.
It's dead now.
I'm like trying to delegate.
We had a spider incident.
That was impressive.
Do you have anything else you want to share about the calls?
The reason I booked the feedback calls too, adding on to that with Jacqueline or Amanda so often, is because I knew down the road one day I was gonna have to do those calls with my team, and so I was like, I better book as many as I can, because I'm not good on the phone. Like, I'm super nervous to talk to people. Like, I sweat when I'm on the phone. Like, I'm not a phone person. So I was like, oh my gosh, like one day I'm gonna have to do these, because I wrote down my goals, right? And I was gonna be successful at this, and I thought, one day I'm gonna have to make these calls, so I better use these girls as much as I can now. I'm grateful that I did that, because now when I do the calls, I don't even have to have a paper in front of me. I just repeat exactly what she said or she said, right? Like, I'm relatable to who I'm talking to. But that's another reason I think it's important to do the 25 Jumpstart, so that you can learn how to do it with your team, and to do those feedback calls so that you can learn how to do them with your team down the road, right? Once you've built those skills.
So is a feedback call, like, just to get the right,
To understand what it is?
Yeah, so are the feedback calls and information calls
Yes.
different?
They're the same
No,
thing.
same
They're
thing.
the same thing.
You can call it whatever you want. Sometimes people say, I don't want to call it a feedback call. Well, then call it an information call. Maybe they just want more information about the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just so that they can get on the phone. It's a 3-way call, and you're going to use your upline, your VP, so whoever your regional vice president is, and you're going to use them. You use them as much as you want. I'm not even kidding. We don't want it. So you're just gonna use people. You're gonna use people. That doesn't sound good. Now we're not even nice anymore here. But no, you're gonna use your upline, your vice president, who has been there, who's earned the car, who's successful, who can say, yes, this does happen. The paycheck is real. The car is real. You know, this is gonna happen for you, and be relatable. And we're gonna know why you have that person on the call. So you're gonna say, you know, I have my friend Sally. You're going to tell me a little bit about her. She, hates her job. She'd love to stay home with her kids. Well, that's awesome. So then when I start the call, I say, Sally, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this call. And people are they are very honored that you took that time out to speak with them personally. Because how many people do that? If you copy and paste the video, like a YouTube video, so here you go, how many did you send that to? I just deleted it. I would actually think it's spam. I don't want to watch some video, and that's not relatable to me, right?
So yeah, that's something that Kelly had asked me to do a feedback, but she sent me Kelly's video to email to my friend, and I knew immediately that if I just sent her a video talking about, Argonne is amazing, that friend would just be like, why are you doing this to me?
Well, it's like if I talk to you, if you don't have kids, and I'm like rambling on, yeah, I get to stay home with my kid, it's so amazing, we stay home all day long and we play outside, and I yammer on, that doesn't happen. Usually I'm chasing a little bugger, but anyways, you're gonna be like, well, I don't even have kids, that's great for her, but I already knew that you said that she doesn't, say she doesn't have kids. I already know she doesn't have kids. So I'm going to talk about my journey without kids. Or else, like, for example, Amanda maybe would talk about Lacey who doesn't have kids more, or, whatever. We would be more relatable and say, it's allowed, Lacey to be able to quit her job or whatever. We know how to tailor the story so it's appealable to that person we're talking to, so it's relatable. So they can say, hey, you know what, I could see myself doing this. I could see myself, quitting my job because I really want to, just like Jacqueline did, just like Lacey did. Like, and then they're kind of like, yeah.
Questions.
And then at the end they can ask questions. So it's more on a personal note, because then after I say, do you have any questions? And maybe they have questions. Maybe they don't know how much it costs to start, or they don't know this, or they don't know that. But it's their time with us. And then they feel a little bit like, wow, that was nice.
And they can get asked all, because I had when I was on it, I had a list. Jacqueline can tell you I was awful, but I had a list this long of questions of what I wanted to ask. But then
she was horrible.
I was horrible. But then they can, I was bad. But then they can ask all those questions and get all those things out of the way, right? Because if you guys would have sent me a video, I'd have been like, well, I still think it's this and still think it's this, and I would have blew it off. But they were able to answer every single question that I had about this, and all the skepticism I had, they were able to address that. And so that's why doing it over the phone on feedback or information call is so important, as opposed to just sending out a mass email of a video.
And doing it over the phone, like I've been asked to, is, well, why don't you go for coffee? Okay, do you want to get dressed up, do your hair? I don't even like combing my hair. So if I got to get dressed up, I got to comb my hair, and I got to come to town, and I got to do this, and I got to meet with you, does it work for you and the sponsor and all of us to get our time all right? Probably not. But if I'm sitting at home and it's 20 minutes out of your time, you're in your pajamas, 20 minutes out of your friend's time, she's in her pajamas.
Call, I was definitely in PJs.
Well, yeah. So who cares, right? That's why I love them, is because it's also, once again, leveraging my time. I don't need to get a sitter. My kid's usually banging in the door or whatever, being annoying, and and it's fine though. They understand I have a kid, right? So usually I bribe them with toys. It works really well, but it's very expensive. Don't do it. That's not even a good idea. Anyway, but that's just what I do, right? So, and it works for me. But that's why we do them.
Can I add one more thing to that too?
Yeah.
You can also, when you're asking people to do an information call with you, tell them that they're doing a favor for you, because you really need the training too. And that's the truth, because even if they don't want to do this business, that's okay, but you need that training, and you need to hear a lot of those information calls too. So share that with whoever you want to ask to listen to a call, that it might not be for you, and that's totally okay, but I could really use the training. Would you be able to help me out and listen to a call for 20 minutes? Right? And I've had people that were like, I'm so not interested at all, but I'll do this for you. Then they come on the call, they hear about it, and they're like, oh, that's what our phone, oh, really? This actually
I didn't know anybody made money at this.
Yeah, and then they do the business, right? That was pretty much me.
Yeah,
right?
You were a flat out no.
I was
I'm not doing that. That's a pyramid. People who started at the beginning are the only people who got there. And she's like, I'll do you this one favor. And I'll go.
But Amanda, she was like, can you help me out? I'm starting this new business. Would you come on an information call just to hear more? I don't know if it's for you, but I need the training anyways. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll come on this call. But then I asked all my questions, got them answered, and now
look at her.
So just share that too.
She doesn't live in an RV anymore, so it's pretty
yeah.
Things have went up, right?
Can I add something?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know, are you gonna touch on taking them to the Discover Argonne? It's kind of like, for anybody who hasn't done a feedback call and you're sitting there wondering, it's like a live Discover Argonne. It's just on the phone. It's just each of our stories, like what we would say at a Discover Argonne, but we're doing it on the phone, basically.
Right. And it's just a little bit, it's a little quicker because it's 20 minutes. And it's quicker, but it's also, we've tailored it a little bit to be relatable, right? And then you get to ask your questions. So it's one-on-one time. I always find people that usually go to Discover Argonne, it's great as a second exposure. It's fabulous. And a second exposure might be you send them a video. Maybe their husband's like, no, I'm not doing that. That is the dumbest thing. You're not doing that. That's not happening. So then maybe you send them Monique and Brent. They do a Discover Argonne together, and her husband speaks. It's really good. Because he talks too, and then the husband gets some information. It's like, oh, well, that sounds really good. That's their second exposure. It's fine as a second exposure, but the first exposure I think is important for it to be on a personal level where they feel important and they can ask any questions they want. And it's no pressure. I say, I'm not in the convincing business. You don't have to do this. But it's so you have that information that if it is at all for you, is maybe there is something more you want out of life. This could be the way of you getting that. And they're like, really? Thank you for sharing that. That's great. And maybe they don't start right now because usually it's just they don't have enough information and it's not the right time. Like people start it later down the road when they're like, you know what? I've had it with life. I can't handle this. I'm ready. I'm like, okay. There's no pressure. And then I get off the phone, and then I let you and your whoever you've got on there chit chat, right? So you guys can talk a little more. And then if they need anything else, that's what we're for, right? But they work very well, and I know three RVPs promoted up this last year, and this is all because of these calls. It just wasn't by chance. They were just, I mean, they're really great people and all, but it wasn't just because they're really great, right? Like, you're really great, Amanda, and all, but the calls just sped it up, because it sped up her skills, right? Her skills got so much faster. Within 1 month of probably doing these calls, she was like ready to, basically, she could have done them herself, right? She could talk to anybody about the business because she had heard it so much. But that was, if you would have done it the other way, where you fumble and you keep trying to do it on your own, you're going to keep getting rejected, and your confidence is going to go down. Pretty soon your confidence is down, and you're like, this doesn't work. I can't do this anymore. How many times can you be rejected, right? Whereas this just takes out that rejection. It moves your business along quicker. You're going to have, it's a lot easier to ask somebody to get on a call because you found their need than it is for you to talk about the business, right? It's a lot easier. Like, if you know that they need more, they want to send their kids or more money or whatever, you found that need, you just got to ask them if they would be interested in being on a call. And most people don't say no, because they're kind of like, oh, I could totally use more money, or oh, I hate this job, right? You know, Lacey hated her job. She wasn't going to be like, no, I hate my job, but I'll just keep going until he dies.
Well, if you see something, like, in the same boat, if you see something like that, and then you compare it to something that you really don't have to do a whole lot for, but you know that you're going to have to put in work that you might not have normally done, there's kind of also an appeal to something new and something different and something that you've never done. Sometimes. It depends on the person, but.
Yeah. Okay.
And then starting the business, just being coachable. That's all I did. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And let's be honest, if you're new in here and you're new in this room, you don't know what you're doing. And that's totally normal, because no one ever does know what they're doing. So just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Tell me what to do. That's all I did. I was like, tell me what to do, because I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, okay. I'm like, I want to quit my job. These are my goals. This is how much money you need to be making. Okay, this is what you need to do. You need to do the 25 Jumpstart. We need to find needs in people and do those information calls. And that's exactly all we did. It's when you really like break it down, it's so simple. It's such a simple system. It's the simplest thing I've ever done.
We try to make it complicated, and we try to figure it out and do it on our own, because we want to be independent. Independent consultants, obviously, is where they get that from. But honestly, it's a lot easier if you can do this with somebody, and you can have somebody who can help you to build your skills a lot quicker and get you started and be successful right off the hop, so you can move along. Because you're going to move along quicker. Your confidence is going to be up, and you're going to find business builders. You're going to have a full calendar. And nobody quits that has a full calendar and business builders. They just don't. They don't go, well, my calendar's so full right now and I have this new business builder, I think I'll just quit. They don't do that. They're usually like on fire, and then they find more. It just keeps spreading like wildfire, right? Because they're so excited about their business. And excitement, people can hear it. You can hear it in your voice. And when I started, I was horrible at it all. Horrible. Couldn't even speak in front of people. Awful. Presentation was terrible. It was just horrible. I couldn't ask anybody in my business. That's why it did take me a little bit longer to find business builders, because I had a really hard time and I didn't have anybody do the talking for me. And I stumbled and I was awful. I read the whole catalog to one girl. It was a nightmare. I had her on the phone for like 2 hours because I was rambling and didn't know what I was even talking about. And, you know, like, they're not going to join after you read the catalog to them. Like, well, this girl looks nice on here, you know, like, it's not going to happen. But why struggle when you don't have to? That's honestly the biggest thing. And we just want you to be successful. We're not trying to tell you what to do.
Can I ask you something? How about complaints of, like, they don't like the product? Like, what do you do in those situations? Like, have you had
those?
Never?
Not
Because
very
I
often.
happened to mention this to my server at the restaurant about Arbonne, and she goes to me, oh, I had this one customer, she came in, she gave me a sample, and I tried it on, and she goes to me, I tried the cream, right, the 5 kit. And then my face like turned orange, she told me. So I don't know if that's true, or like
not.
She wasn't
not
happy at
every
all.
Skincare line is going to work for everybody either. So I've had people say to me like that, I can't use the RE9 line. Like, my face turns red. Like, I just can't use it. They might be too sensitive to the vitamin C in it. So maybe they need to try the Calm line,
Yeah, so
which
you
is
just
our
give
most
them that.
hypoallergenic line. So then you just recommend a different product, because you're going to find one. Like, I mean, we have something for everybody. So you're going to find something that works for them, right? That just might not work for their particular skin type, which is why we have so many different
Because she
products,
told me she
right?
doesn't have sensitive skin, and she like is what she was telling me, and that okay, like,
She'd be
what
a
do you
great
do
one
in
to
this
do a
kind of
one-on-one
situation,
with
right?
and have her try a whole bunch of different products and find something that she does. Because you're gonna find something you love. Like, you're gonna find the sea salt scrub, you're gonna find, like, maybe it's the makeup. I have people who, like, love the makeup and they don't use anything else. And that's okay, I'm okay with that. But they have to find what they love, and she doesn't know because she hasn't tried enough, so maybe she hasn't been to a party.
No, she hasn't. This one
You know,
customer
and
came
she
to the
hasn't-
restaurant and gave her the sample,
Yeah.
tried it, and then she didn't like
And
it.
you just have to say, you know what, that's a perfect example. We have over 450 products. So I know you haven't tried everything.
Yeah.
And so say to her, are you open to trying other products? We have really incredible products. And the other thing is they're really
I'd be
good
like,
for you.
I'm so glad that person didn't do a follow-up, because now you can come listen to what I have
Yeah.
to say about our brand, you know?
And the thing too is like, it's not just gonna work after 3 days. I had a girl call me and she's like, I hate it, I hate how it makes my skin feel. Well, you have 45 days to give it back. Why don't you just use it? And then you'll know that if it really doesn't work, but after 3 days it doesn't. It's not just a cleaner, like it actually, everything that we put on our skin is, like we say in any presentation, use a mineral oil. I mean, it's in our skin, so everything is just pulling everything out. And it's detoxing, it's just making everything better. So they actually have to try it for it to work.
I would say that too when I hand out my samples. I say, you know, as a victim of these samples, once upon a time, I'll try them for a couple days because I have the worst skin too. Like I'm sensitive to everything. But after trying them for a couple days, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I flared up. I stop. I would just stop, right? When I hand out my samples, I make sure I tell them, hey, there's a possibility your skin is gonna flare up. And just don't be afraid of it. Power through, do the full sample, use them till they're gone, and tell me what it's like at the end of that. Just make them aware at the beginning. That way, when it happens, they're not like, oh my god, what's going on, and I'm just gonna stop, and I hate this. And
I remember even going to the dermatologist and they would say, you know, your skin's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it takes a little longer for them to see results too. So.
And maybe do you know her well enough to know her a little bit about her?
Yeah.
Does she have all the time and money in the world? Well, maybe she needs some information because you know what? This
She's
is the biggest.
currently working.
She's
for
working
a
for
firm.
a
good job.
Oh, come on.
That's when I get my first part would be all my waitresses.
And then you've got no staff. Thank you.
Then our one would be your plan A. No rest.
But there's an objection. Like if you were on a call and someone said that to you and you're new and you're like, oh gosh, what do I say to this person?
That's why I didn't know how to answer it because I didn't know anything about it. Just Ray gave me the book.
Well, that's where the next sheets come in really handy for you. It's really, really great that you read over the handling common objections. This is so important and you memorize this. Because not only is your upline going to help you and do the talking for you, but at least if you do know a little bit, you're like, okay, I remember reading that. And they said in there, you know, that people are going to say, I don't have time to try the product. But I remember reading that it said this, right? So it's really important that you educate yourself on how do you handle objections because your upline's not going to be following you around everywhere you go. Like
in that situation or something, right?
In that situation, you know, you're not going to have somebody right beside you. Yeah. But in the other ones, I say, you know, utilize those people. But if you do find a need in there, like I have to say, maybe I'm biased to Arbonne through and through, but Arbonne has been seriously the biggest blessing in my life other than my son, right? The biggest gift ever. And I've watched what it's done for other people and there's nothing else like it, right? Where you can see people's lives transform, right? And that's the biggest thing too, and you can offer this gift to somebody else. I have no problem. It just comes right out, like I don't have a problem, but I know because I have that confidence, right? And I think the more you see it, and you're going to see more success if you come to some of the Discover Arbonnes and you come see other people speak, and you walk, they're all walks of lives, every age, every education, every background, every whatever, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, look at all these people that have went ahead and been successful. Why am I any different, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing, right, is that you can see that and you can offer it to people with confidence and say, you know, this could be the difference for you. Like, get on that call with me. You know, if they say no, say, just you can do that favor for me. Because we've had lots of people that flat out were like, I'm just doing this as a favor, I'm just doing this as a favor, and then they start the business because they're like, holy, I do need more time and I do need more money and I do hate my job. I just don't want to say it. Like Lacey didn't want to say she hated her job, but she hated it. But, you know, that's the big thing, right, is not to be afraid to ask people to get on these calls because you could be the difference and they could be thanking you every day. I thank the person all the time that brought me into this. Like, she's always in my gratitude journal, right?
Yeah, like now, do you think I look at Amanda and I'm like, oh, she was such a burden asking me to like, take a closer look at this business.
Yeah, what a horrible
Can't believe
person
did
you are.
that.
I can't believe you have her.
Right? So don't feel bad when you're sharing this with people because it can be seriously life changing, whether they want to do it or not, but it can be, right?
And we talk about that all the time. Like, I'll be having a conversation with Amanda, and she'll be like, "Oh, I don't know what I would do if I wouldn't have had Arbonne, to pay for this or do this." And you think about it, it comes across your mind all the time. I've been broke and I've had money, and it's a lot easier having money. I know money's not everything, but it makes situations a lot easier to deal with, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not just having money; it's having time. I call it freedom, like the freedom to make choices of what I'm going to do every single day and how I'm going to live my life, right? And that's why it's so important to offer that to other people, because you don't usually get one. And you don't usually get both, right? You usually get one or the other. So, that's the big thing is being open to offering this to people that when they are talking to you. And people always walk into it. I just love it. People do. Like, yeah, I wish I could stay with my kids. I hate my shift work. I'm like, ooh. Now you're ready? Yeah. And it happens every conversation almost.
I just want to go, you were talking about the 3 things that we need. The first thing you said was full calendar, so the June 25 Jumpstart. Second thing was business builders, so information calls.
And the third thing we haven't went to yet.
Okay.
Yeah. The third thing is the last thing that we're doing on the list here.
Okay.
What are you reading? Your mindset, this business, I'm not even kidding, is at least 90% in your head, and I'm not kidding. What you think about, you bring about, and it's no joke. If you think that you can do this, you're unstoppable. So how you're going to do that and how you're going to get through obstacles and how you're going to get through problems is by what your mindset is telling you and what you're reading. So anytime I'm having a crappy day, that's why I wake up before my son, because I would harm him if I didn't. He's a bit of a challenge, but I wake up before he does every single morning, and good thing that he doesn't get, like sometimes he gets up through the night, which obviously I'm not talking about that, but I wake up before him and I read because I can set my day to be a great day just by doing that. Because what I just read is generally setting my mind up for what's going to happen throughout the day. And it's really important. It sounds corny. I wasn't somebody who did personal growth. I was like, what is that? I don't need personal growth. Like, I don't know what that is. But it makes you, I know I'm a better person through this business because of what I've done. I've been to all kinds of leaderships, like schools and Robin Sharma and all kinds of different things. And I wouldn't have done any of that. So I know if anything, I'm going to walk away from this business, even if it didn't work, which it did. But if it didn't work, like something happened, I know that I'm a better person because I know how to deal with situations and I know how to deal with things that come up in life because of what I've done through growth, right? And so what you're reading is probably one of the most important things in this business. There's only 3 things, like Lacey just shared: having a full calendar, getting business builders, those things you're going to do with your upline, and then what you're reading in your mindset. If you have a positive outlook on life and positive outlook on things, like when a party cancels, how do you handle it? When a party cancels for me, I'm like, oh, must be something better I'm going to do tonight. And I don't mean I'm going to go and party and whoop it up. I mean, I'm going to obviously talk to somebody else. Maybe they need this business. And that's where I was supposed to be. Or maybe, like, I know Amanda did a lot of this, Lacey too. And we learned this by other people doing it. So when a party cancels, maybe you'll call up another friend and she'll have a couple girlfriends over. Then guess what? One of their friends wants to do the business. That's where you were supposed to be. You weren't supposed to be at that one that canceled. But it's how you look at things. So when things happen in my life, I say it's a lesson for me or it's a gift. It's either or. It's never bad or good. It's a lesson or it's a gift. And it's just how you look at things. And I always replace it with income producing activities. So when things don't go, because things aren't always going to go your way. But when they don't, then I know that I'm going to replace it. I'm going to make the best of it. So maybe I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to, sell some product. And I'm going to make up that party. I can do that really well. I'll just call both, a bunch of people that I know, and I'll make up 600 in sales and be like, well, there's the party. Maybe I'll have a really good conversation with a good friend of mine. Maybe I'll book a call for another time, to talk about the business. That's what I was supposed to be doing. So it's just how you look at situations that come up. And, even if somebody says they're going to do the business with you and they don't, they weren't meant to do the business with you because they're going to be a pain in your butt anyways. No, I don't know why. That could be your reason, right? You could think of the reasons why, but it's how you look at it, right? And that's why reading is so, so important. If you need suggestions, I read them in channel books. I usually read at least a book a week, but I don't really like watching TV, and I love to read. So it's easy for me, right? A lot of people don't like to read it.
I don't like to read, but if you can even read 20 minutes a day.
Oh yeah, you don't like to
I don't
read.
like reading, but I can fit in 20 minutes, even in a really busy day. I make myself too. But
Yeah.
I mean, anyone, if you talk to anyone who's been successful in this business, guaranteed they've done the personal growth and read those books.
Yeah.
Absolutely guaranteed. You ask anyone.
Yeah, and a lot of times our businesses only grow to the point that we do. So if our business isn't growing, there's something that we need to do first. And that's through personal growth. So I always take a look at myself first when my business isn't where I want it to be, because it's not always. And when it's not, I'm like, okay, let me take a look at myself, do a little bit of a head check, right? And then maybe I do a little bit more personal growth and work a little bit more on myself, right? And some really great books are The Secret. That was the first one. I think I even got the audio and I'd watch it every night before I went to bed. I mean, I could because I didn't have a kid and so every night when I went to bed, I watched The Secret. And that was something that I did. And so when I fall asleep, it's what you fall asleep to too. Sets off how you're going to sleep too. So if you can at night even before you go to bed, I always write my gratitude journal before I go to bed. That's another thing. If you don't want to read, write in your gratitude journal. If you don't have one, get one. And write what all was great. And it can be the simplest little things. It doesn't matter. But you need to replay your day and look at all the great things that happened, because I can guarantee there's some really great things that happened. One of the greatest things that happened was when my kids slept through the night. I was like, oh, my kids slept through the night, the best thing ever. And it's something that could be simple like that, right? But you have to be, what you're grateful for, you get more of. If you're not grateful for it, you're not getting more of it. So write in that journal and read. And if you need suggestions, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, that one was another good one. What else? Magic. Secret of the Millionaire Mind. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And The Secret's good. Magic was good. Let's see what else. Pardon me?
Flip-flop CEO.
The Flip-flop CEO.
Leaders
was
by
good.
the title's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, anything by Robin Sharma, The Guide to Greatness. That one was amazing.
Yeah,
that one was my favorite. That one was my favorite book probably. But if you need suggestions, you can ask anybody, because most people have a library, but that's so important. And to look at the good in every situation. That's probably the biggest thing. So that's kind of it for the getting started. If you have anything else, did I miss anything? Yeah. Nope. Did I miss anything?
No. Pretty
Is there anything other
straightforward.
questions?
Those three things.
So, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What happens if you know that there might be someone in a different province that would be interested in starting in the business?
Great.
How would that work? Like, is that because
my
she's a
whole
girlfriend
business
back?
is not
Yeah. My girlfriend's back on Vancouver Island, and she's a stay-at-home mom, but she has to go back to work for 30 days, and she's just dreading it. Like, she does not want to
Has
go
she
back.
done the feedback call?
No, this is just all kind of new to me too. So, but I know that.
You book the feedback call. You say, you know what? I know you don't want to go back to work. Give me 20 minutes of your time. You don't have to do it. I'm super excited about what I'm doing. Even if you don't want to do it, you're just doing me a favor by me getting the training.
Mhm.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
She'll be like, yes. Get her on the call. 20 minutes of time. If she decides, yes, I want to do it, you decide. Am I willing, and I'm going to take the time and I'm going to go out there and spend 2 days and get her launched, or am I going to Skype?
Mm-hmm.
And that feedback call is us and our upline then.
Yeah. So that's
You
what I
and
would
your
do.
RVP.
Or
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
She said that'd be me.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah. So it's like for me, I've been pretty much everywhere. I went to Northwest Territories, you name it. But I put that time and that money. But I mean, there wasn't a lot of technology really when I started. Like I had dial up. Like I even at one time at the party line. No, oh gosh, I made you myself. I'm gonna stop talking. Nobody knows the party line. Okay. The 3-way call reminds me of the party. When your neighbor's on the phone, you forgot to like, can I have the phone? Okay, we won't get into that. But no, you're gonna just decide what you're gonna do, and it depends how serious they are. If she's serious about doing these calls and getting her calendar full, heck yeah, I'd put the time and money into it. Like I have put a lot of, time and money into people, and you think I care now? I don't care, right? Like that's fine. But I like to do it kind of face to face and bring my products and be able to do that with her. But if you can't, you can't, right? If you're like, that's not financially, I can't do it, then you're going to Skype. She's going to have to get a little bit of product though, so you can do the party for her, or your upline can do the party for her, right? If you don't know how. Very simple. I've done both ways. Skype where I can't make it. And usually I'll Skype if they don't commit to the full calendar, because I'm not flying out there. unless you've got a full calendar. If you've got a full calendar, you know she's going somewhere, you're gonna make that money back the first month. So it's not really out of your pocket.
That's like, I flew to Saskatchewan, I flew
And
to
you can write it off.
BC a couple
Yeah,
times.
you can write it off.
And those people that I did fly to go help with, I said, you know what, I'm coming out for a weekend to help you, or whenever worked, whatever worked for us. And I said, I'll be there for this many days, get as much activity as you can get booked, because this is your time with me, and this is your time to get your training one-on-one with me. So use me, like, use me up, right? And that's kind of what you can do in a situation like that.
And if they commit to that and they're like, yes, I want to be successful at this, and I do want to do it, it is a good idea, because like that's how she got to Region, right? I mean, she's made that money back tenfold.
Yeah.
Right, and used it as a write-off. So I suggest definitely doing it if they're committed to it.
And if you have like a Visa Avion card, just a side note, like a Visa, I travel, all my flights that I do have been free because they're on my points on my Visa, because I use my Visa so much for this business. When people pay me with cash or check, I'm using my own credit card to put it through the computer, right? So I'm getting points for that. When I buy my fuel, I use my credit card. When I use my credit card kind of for everything and then pay it off right away, then I rack up those points and I can fly for free, right? So then you're not having to pay for the flights either. So just for something else, if you're kind of, stretched for cash or whatever, to do something like that.
You said you could write off the
You write off everything.
flights?
Your life.
Everything that
like for income tax.
For income tax, you write off everything. So you keep receipts for everything that pertains to your business, like meals, cell phone, home expenses. I have a maid. She's my office cleaner. They don't know what that is. I mean, it's not great. Anything you pretty much do that you
pertains to your
business, because there's such a gray area too. Like you have a lot of things. Like when I had a nanny, it was an assistant. So you write off all of your life. So you basically take your receipts against your income, and then you get
Then you get tax less.
So you don't have taxes. You don't owe taxes then. It's great. It's fabulous actually. So because you only owe taxes on what you have left after you take your expenses away from your income.
And a lot in your first year. Usually
Your first year. My first year, I got back $3,900. It's the only time the government's ever given me money back. So very nice.
So anything that, like all of the products and stuff that
Yeah, all your products you're using.
that I can keep my receipts for and
Yes.
store it away.
Wine, you take wine.
Yeah.
Right off your wine.
Oh, why didn't I?
If you're drinking at home alone with your wine, you had a party. You had an Arbonne party by yourself. You're practicing. Whatever.
The two things that I talked to my accountant, I said, okay, so what can't I write off? He said the two things are your clothing, because
clothing
he
you
said
can't.
even if you bought a suit for your shows or whatever, you can't write off your
'Cause you
clothing,
don't need
and
that.
you can't write off like your groceries, your household groceries.
No
Anything
household
else?
groceries. You're better off to eat out if you wanna.
Eating
right.
out, meals, that you can write
Yeah.
off, but he said just the groceries and
Same with me. But every accountant too, whatever your accountant kind of goes with, that's kind of what you do, right? Because I know with mine, people ask me for advice all the time, but I would prefer people go to their own, because everybody kind of does things a little bit different.
And that's
right?
what I did. I just scheduled, because this was my first year with Arbonne, so I'd never done the income tax stuff. And I just scheduled an appointment with my accountant and went in and said, okay, what do I need to do? And he showed me exactly how to, do it. So maybe something you want to talk to your accountant with, or talk with someone who knows a lot about, because I didn't know anything about how to do taxes.
Right. So that all makes sense.
Or maybe you're really good at that kind of stuff, but I wasn't, so.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody, and if you have any other questions, by all means, or do you want to chit chat or whatever you want, you gotta hit stop record.
So I guess what I would encourage is going through all that stuff. If you haven't done the 25 Jumpstart with your upline, whoever your upline RVP is,